When you first open the StocksBoard app, you'll be greeted by the onboarding screen, where you can set your personal preferences. For example, you can choose your default currency, select the app's appearance, and decide whether to generate sample data, among other options. You can always adjust these settings later in the app's settings section. For this demo, we'll create a sample account, watch list, and reports. Now let's tap Done on this screen to continue into the app. As you can see, the app has generated a sample account, a sample watch list, and a couple of reports. Let's start by tapping on the account to see what it contains. Inside, we have two holdings, Apple and Nvidia. You can tap on any holding to view its transactions. Let's tap on Nvidia. Here we have two sample transactions. We purchased 2 shares on June 12, 2024. We sold 1 share on December 31st, 2024. Remember, this is all sample data. Later, I'll show you how easy it is to add your own real transactions. Let's tap the back button to return to the holdings screen. Here you can see several important metrics for each holding, including daily profit and loss. As you can see, today Apple is up while Nvidia is down. Overall, open profit and loss across our holdings. The current market value of our shares and our total cost basis. Portfolio allocation for each holding and the annualized rate of return. XYRR. Realized profit, shown both in dollars and as a percentage. Since we sold 1 Nvidia share earlier, you can see the profit from that trade in the last column. Now let's add new holdings and transactions. In our sample account, we'll tap the plus or add button. We'll add a semiconductor ETF with the symbol SMH. First, we search for it and select it from the list of results. Next, we add a buy transaction for 2 shares at $616 each. Let's say we purchased them on June 16th. Finally, we tap Save, and you can see the new holding instantly appear in our sample account. Entering transactions manually can be quite tedious. Let's see how we can quickly import a large number of transactions from a CSV file. First, we'll create a new account to import the data into. To do that, we tap the back button, then in the Accounts view, we tap the plus or add button. We'll name this account ETFs, short for Exchange Traded Funds. Optionally, we can select an account type, such as cash, CD, or investment, and a registration type, tax-free, tax-deferred, or taxable. We can also enter the name of the institution, for example, Robinhood. All of this optional information will come in handy later when we generate reports. Now, we tap Save at the bottom, and the new account appears in our list of accounts. Now let's import a CSV file with hundreds of transactions into our new account. To do that, we go to Settings and tap Import Data. We select Other CSV as the file format and choose our newly created ETFs account as the target. Then we tap the Select Local CSV File button at the bottom. Here, I'll select a CSV file from a shared drive, but you can choose yours from anywhere, your Downloads folder, cloud storage, or anywhere else. The next screen shows a preview of the imported data. In this case, the app automatically recognized all the columns from my broker's export, Questrade. If the app can't automatically map the columns, you can simply tap each column header and select the correct field. Any transactions that can't be imported will appear in red with a line through them. Now let's tap Process Loaded File at the bottom. As you can see, the data has been imported successfully. That file contained around 450 transactions. For an example of an optimal CSV format, check the tutorial section in the app's main menu. Now let's go back to the Accounts view. You can see all the data loaded into our ETFs account, complete with accurate metrics. To see all your assets across every account, tap Assets in the app's main menu. Here you'll find the same key metrics as in the Accounts section, but grouped by individual holding. To analyze your portfolio's performance, tap the Sort icon in the top right and choose any metric you want. In this example, we'll select XYRR, Annualized Return Rate, and tap Descending. This sorts our assets so the best performing holdings appear at the top. Tapping the Download button lets you export the full assets view to a CSV file that can be shared with other apps. If you tap on any asset, the app drills down to show all accounts that contain it. From there, you can drill down even further to view all transactions for that asset and account, just like in the Holdings section. Next, let's see how easy it is to build a watch list. To do that, tap the Add New button in the main menu right next to the Watch Lists heading. First, give your watch list a name. We'll call this one Growth. Next, we'll add a few growth ETFs: SPY, SPDR, S&P 500, SPYG, SPDR, Portfolio S&P 500 Growth, VUG, Vanguard Growth Index Fund, SMH, VanEck Semiconductor. Optionally, you can choose whether to show extended market hours in the charts or only regular trading hours, 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can also pick a custom icon color for this watch list. Finally, tap Save. We can now see our new growth watch list under the watch list section. Let's tap on it to open it. As you can see, we have sparkline charts for each security along with key daily metrics. We can sort the list however we like. In this example, we'll sort by average volume in descending order. Tapping any of the spark charts opens a more detailed interactive chart where you can select longer time periods, such as 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, or 1 year. Next, let's create a more advanced custom report. To do that, tap the Add New button in the main menu right next to the Reports heading. First, give the report a name. We'll call this one By Institution and Registration. Now, let's add some measures to the report: market value, change, unrealized profit or loss, weight percent. How much of our total assets are allocated to that institution? Our goal is to create a pivot-style report with institutions listed vertically and registration types across the top. So in the row dimensions section, we add the institution dimension. Then in the column dimensions section, we add the account registration dimension. Once we tap Save, we can see our new report. As you can see, most of our assets, over 96%, are held with Robinhood, where we've made $1,876 in profit.